From Acton town to Wimbledon, from Brixton to beyond, love your London, have a banana.
On today's instalment of Love Your London, we visit the homes of more famous former residents of Acton. But first we are on Warple Way, an old road to the southeast of Acton Park with a fascinating history.
Okay, so we're now on Warple Way. This was the founding stone for the Cros car factory, and William Harvey de Cros, he was from Dublin, but he was of Huguenot descent. He was the MP for Hastings between 1906 and 1908. But he was also chairman of the RAC, the Royal Automobile Club. But it was at this place in 1908 where he set up the largest motor car garage and repair works in the world. Now, these are not my words, these are the words of the Acton Gazette of the time. Now, as you can see from the stone, it says this stone was laid on January the 19th, 1909 by Harvey de Cros, Esquire, founder of the pneumatic tyre industry. So basically, let's go down there and I can explain a little bit more. Okay, so this is Warple Mews. This originally would have been the entrance to his factory. He was also into the import business, and he bought over 100 American yellow cabs here in 1923 to replace some of his fleet. They were quite a familiar sight on the London streets at the time. Now, none of this would have happened were Harvey de Cros, back home in Dublin, being extremely competitive. Now, he had 6 sons in all. And they all turned out into a racing team on penny farthings, and he called them the Invincibles. But 2 of his sons were beaten in a cycle race by drivers who were using Dunlop tyres. So he went into partnership with Dunlop, John Dunlop, and ended up being the founder and the sole president of the Dunlop Rubber Company. So in 1896 he sold the company off, and which became the Dunlop Pneumatic Tyre Company for over £3 million, which is nowadays about £400 million. Absolute fortune. And even financed the British airships in the war. And now those flats over there are worth about £500,000 each. This, on the other hand, I don't know how much this is worth. It's not for sale, it's never been for sale. I'd say a couple of mil at least. I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. Now, it looks like a house. It is in fact the pumping station. Now, this was built in 1887, and in 1881 there was a new law that passed that decided that all houses in Acton must have their own drainage system. So this was built to deal with all the extra sewage. So all the stormwater that was that comes through the normal drains in the street, that used to, and it still does, go all the way to Beckton in East London, and we'll be visiting Beckton quite soon when we get to B. And if you've eventually, stormwater would be filtered here as well, and in 1979 huge storm tanks were built just behind this house, so that the Thames wouldn't suddenly get a massive discharge of stormwater. This area is going to be used again for storm water and removing everything. The Thames Tideway Tunnel is going to be taking loads and loads of water. The whole thing is being made much wider and is going to be pumping stuff out to Beckton. And this is where it all starts, from here, from Acton, all the way down to Beckton, again, like in the old days. Not always was the water here for getting rid of water. This was also another area full of wells at the time. Now, I spoke earlier about de Cros, but if you just look up there, there was an artesian well that was built by Monsieur Panard and Monsieur Levasseur, who were the inventors of the very first motor car. They had an artesian well dug here sometime in 1909, obviously long after they built the car, just here.
Oh, by the way, this was going to be one of the places that Sharon was going to be sketching next, but the residents had made it quite clear that we were not welcome there, so we made a hasty retreat.
We're at the edge of Southfield Park here, number 81A Southfield Road. I love the writing there above the door, 81A. We went to see earlier on the marital home of John Entwistle of The Who, where he moved with his wife Alison. This is actually where he grew up. He lived here with his mum and his granny. His father left quite early. The father used to play trumpet, mum used to play piano, and it was actually in the school, obviously, where John really honed his musical skills. But he was never really into the piano. He was much more, even though the father had left, he was much more into playing the trumpet. And he always kept a close relationship with his dad. In fact, at his wedding to Alison, his dad, his estranged dad, was in fact his best man. So clearly John Entwistle didn't really trust Pete Townsend with the best man speech. Anyway, so there you go. This is actually where John Entwistle, aka Thunderfingers, aka the Ox, built as a child his first bass. He built it here. This is musical history. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, we've paused.
Okay, so do you know what happens next?
No.
We're off to see another home of a former Acton celebrity.
Oh, not again. Is it far?
It's 1.5 miles from the top of Warple Way.
Okay.
Uphill.
Oh, no.
And we're going to be using the time-lapse setting on the GoPro, and you're going to be wearing the harness as you follow me.
Uphill?
And you can buy both of them via the special links in the description, and we may make 37p again like we did last time we did this.
That sounds worth it.
Well, obviously the best way to support us is by subscribing to our channel, which costs you absolutely nothing, and liking this video, of course. Anyway, let's go, and I'm going to talk our viewers through the route. So we're going through Acton Park from the southeast corner to the northwest, onto East Churchfield Road, and there's a level crossing at Acton Central that we saw in the last instalment. Right up Goldsmith Road, and there's number 18 again, the house on the right where Adam Faith used to live that we visited in that episode. Oh, this is all going to be blocked off at any moment now, all part of the proposals to make this a low traffic neighbourhood. It won't be possible to do the journey we're doing at the moment here by car. Crane Avenue and Acacia Road will also be blocked off to car traffic.
Isn't that just going to make the other areas a high-traffic neighbourhood?
Yeah, but it's also been brought in to facilitate social distancing during COVID.
How?
I'm not sure. People are worried, though, that drivers will get so fed up that they'll end up using public transport instead.
And put themselves at even higher risk of catching COVID.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Plus, public transport is less regular than usual at the moment, so the fewer trains will just be more packed as a result.
Crazy. Any other benefits?
Yeah, apparently it's going to stop people rat running.
Is that a problem on Goldsmith Road?
Nope, not yet, but they are anticipating future rat running because there will be less public transport.
Wow. How did that get past the consultation stage?
Well, no one seems to have been consulted. Or if there was, it was very hush-hush. The problem is, as people travel up this road on sat-navs that haven't yet been updated, they're going to cause one mayhem of a traffic jam as they realise that they need to work out another route. There's going to be traffic jams, pollution...
This road is steep. It better be worth it.
Oh, yes, it is. Wait till you get to see who lived at the house we're visiting. Oh, there's number 100 Goldsmith Avenue on the right there. Charles Dancer's parents lived there. You can see Charles visiting it in Series 14 of Who Do You Think You Are?
Is that who we've come all this way to see?
Nope, much better than that. Let's go left onto Grafton Road.
Oh, Jesus!
Ah, Horn Lane. I just need to get my phone out here to check something.
Why is it called Horn Lane?
Well, according to a book called The Street Names of Acton, the likeliest reason is that loads of prehistoric deer's horns were unearthed here centuries ago when they were building the road.
Now that's interesting.
Well, I must thank Cyril Breach here from the We Love Acton Facebook group. Nice one, Cyril.
I'm sure he's heard that before.
Ah, Stamford Brook, another lost river like the Warple and Bollow Brook, used to flow down Horn Lane. Right, come on, let's go.
Oh, wait for me!
Oh, stop.
What now?
Go back. There.
What?
See that place on the right? 176 Horn Lane?
The BF Academy Beauty Training Centre? What about it?
Yeah, well, it used to be the Elgon Driving Academy, and in the back room there was a pharmaceutical company called Dream Pharma. Both were run by a businessman called Mehdi Alavi.
And?
Well, it turns out that in 2010 they were busted for supplying Arizona State Prison with 150 vials of sodium thiopental, 180 vials of potassium chloride, and 450 vials of pancuronium bromide, which is enough to kill at least 10 prisoners.
That's disgusting. It's horrible, and surely completely illegal for a a UK company to do this.
Yes, especially as it was quite clear from emails that Alavi was completely complicit in what he was doing and knew exactly what the pharmaceuticals were being used for.
So I take it the place was immediately closed down?
Nope, not according to Google Street Maps. Here it is in May 2012, in October 2014, May 2015, and in June 2017 they even put the Dream Pharma sign up in a more prominent position, probably so that they could go on using the car parking space outside without blocking the sign. It wasn't actually until February 2018 that we see some works being done on it.
So that's the end of Dream Pharma.
No, not according to Company's House. He's just moved the company in 2018 to his house in Garside Close in Hampton, Twickenham, and they're still going strong.
Okay, well, let's finish this journey. It better be bloody worth it.
Oh, it is. Wait for it.
Okay, so after that mammoth journey uphill, we are outside number 24 Linton Road. Now this is the family home of none other than Alan Rickman. This is where he used to live.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alan Rickman? Oh, who cares? How is that interesting?
Wait, there's more. This is a good bit.
Now if you check Google Street Map, you'll notice that the paint job actually happened sometime between July 2008 and April 2012. It used to be red bricks like the one to the left, number 22. Now the Rickmans didn't have the whole house. His dad, an Irishman called Bernard Rickman, he was a painter and decorator, and his mum's it was Welsh, her name was Margaret. They were staunch Labour supporters. They used to have the big Labour signs whenever the elections were coming. Alan though was a little bit embarrassed that they only had one small bit of this place. He used to pretend that the family had the whole house to themselves. Obviously the parents weren't ashamed at all. His mum Margaret actually went on to buy the flat under the right to buy scheme. There used to be a fence down here. She put down in the 1900s.
1900s?
I think I meant 1990s, I think.
Okay.
But in the early 2000s, after she died, it was taken down. But this was actually built. A little fence that was here that used to belong to Alan Rickman's mum.
So you think our viewers are interested in the fact that there used to be a wall there, and which was torn down a decade or so later?
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to be editing this more ruthlessly in future.
No, I'm trying to tell the viewers about all the great roles that he played before he died in 2016. Professor Severus in the Harry Potter movies, Truly Badly Deeply. He was brilliant as Eamon de Valera in Michael Collins.
Next! What's next?
We're checking out Acton Mainline Station.
Oh, Jesus. Come on, then. Let's get it over with. You promised to take us somewhere called the Bridge Café in this episode. And I'm hungry.
Okay, so we're now at Acton Main Line. You can currently travel to Paddington. If you go towards the east, you can go towards Heathrow if you go towards the west. The west being that way, towards Heathrow, east towards Paddington, over there.
Acton Main Line is also on the Elizabeth Line, aka Crossrail. There currently isn't any step-free access, though wheelchairs are available and assistance is on hand. However, there are plans to have 2 lifts installed very soon. Oh, and there's no toilets.
Okay, so behind me we now have West Acton. We're really doing the Actons today. Here we have another one of those Grade 2 listed stations. This one was actually designed in 1940 by Brian Lewis, who's actually from Tasmania. This one's actually on the Central Line, which means it's open on Friday night and Sunday night. It's 24 hours. Unfortunately, although there are toilets, there are no accessible toilets. In fact, none of it's accessible at all. There's no step-free access as yet. But it's a lovely station. Oh no, why? I thought we did really well in that task. Well, that won't mean anything to you unless you're an Apprentice fan, because right here, yes, and it's a real cafe, this is not a set, this is where the losing team in Lord Sugar Apprentice programme, sorry about the noise, there is in fact a big fire in North Acton, a flat's on fire, it's in all the papers, but there's helicopters everywhere. But anyway, Bridge Café, this is where they drown their sorrows basically. just in here, and they do a mean breakfast, a really good all day breakfast I hear. I don't know if Lord Sugar's ever eaten there, I doubt it, but anyway, here it is.
I'm hungry.
And here we are in North Acton playing fields. Now this is yet another cricket pitch. As you can see, there's some people playing cricket at the moment, and all sorts of different sports. They really are cricket mad in these Actonians. It's also a really nice picnic spot. So unfortunately it's got a little bit cloudy now, but when the sun's out it's lovely. It's just lovely here.
So, in the playing fields you also have some really rather lovely trees. This one is clearly an oak tree, and lots of pedestrians and so on. It's terrific. Big trees like this are often listed. I'm not sure if this one is, but it certainly looks like it might be big enough. It's a beaut. And you know, while you're enjoying your visit to Acton, be sure to see the sights, and that includes, you know, the odd flip-flop or whatever else they can fit in there. That adds a bit of atmosphere. Isn't it a beaut? Now that's a tree. And a flip-flop.
Okay, so unfortunately we weren't able to get anywhere near the fire in North Acton. It was basically a fire on top of some flats. No, I don't believe anyone's been terribly hurt, but at least we have found here a doll's house fire. Nothing to do with, of course, where the smoke, but synchronicity has it that at least we found something that was kind of relevant to today's activities. This is a really nice little thing they've done here. Basically, I think there's a primary school nearby, or I assume there must be, but this is just basically to stop people from crossing the road. If we check out these two over here, it slows people down, I guess. If anything, just to look at them, because they look quite creepy. There we go. I mean, it's quite a nice idea, I guess. It makes people stop and hopefully not crash their car.
And judging from the hubcap on the curb, it looks as though it was working. Next time on Love Your London, having not done too well at golf, I try my hand out at go-karting. And I make an interesting discovery in North Acton Cemetery. Till next time.
From Acton Town to Wimbledon, from Brixton to beyond, love your London, have a banana.